Hey guys, yesterday I picked up the 1.8 engine which I'm going to put in my 1.6 Miata. Last video I took out the 1.6, so if you haven't seen that video, make sure to click here to check that out first. I'm doing a 1.8 swap. I'll be using the Flyin Miata manual. I did some research online, so I'm going to do some things a bit different just to try it out. And this will be a very detailed video, so I'm going to show you step by step what you need to do to install the 1.8 and what options you have. So this video is probably going to be split up in two parts because I wanted to be very clear what you need to do and explain everything very thorough. So let's take a look at the engine. It's a really good looking engine. Has some minor oil leaks here, but overall it seems to be in a really good condition. I got all the accessories, as you can see here: exhaust, cat, alternator, intake, throttle cable, this belt here, and some other bits and pieces. On the 1.8 I already installed the power steering bracket, and now I'm installing the AC bracket. These things are a easy swap. The engines are almost the same. The only difference between the 1.8 is that it's longer and of course has more power, and it has a exhaust return. As you can see here, it goes through the inlet. I need to block that off as well, so I'll make a block off plate for that. According to the Flyin Miata manual, the ignition needs to come off and I need to put the 1.6 ignition on, and as you can see they are a bit different, so I need to do some fabrication to fit these coils in this coil bracket. Well, these are the 1.6 coils and this is the 1.8 bracket. The holes don't line up, and on the back side the lower ones aren't connected at all. But if this is everything, it's really easy. You just drill a few holes, get some metal strips here. I tried to fit the coil package. It worked a bit, but this thing was in the way, which goes into here, and then this thing is in the way, so I'm getting an angle grinder and grinding this off. I grinded the notch in the back off, but the coil pack still won't fit. Of course it will fit a bit better, but as you can see the sides here need to be trimmed a bit because the 1.6 coil pack is a bit wider. I need to make it fit. Well, the coil pack fits with some adjustment. As you can see, I took the angle grinder out, worked perfect. Going to make some metal brackets here, but you can't attach it. So I'm using these bolts. I'm cutting off the head, drilling a hole in it, and then these are perfect to keep the right distance and you don't have to use like 10 washers. The spaces work perfect, and here I used a strip of aluminum, works perfect as well. So now I need to take off the wiring loom on the 1.8, put the 1.6 wiring loom on it. I almost forgot to mention, make yourself a Egr Block Off Plate, really easy. Drill 2 holes and then grind it till it fits. Next step, remove the water temperature sensor on the back of the 1.8. Use the 1.6 sensor. There's a sensor here in the back which is for your gauge. You can leave this in place. And yeah, I'm going to get this of the 1.6, and I already took out the wiring harness for the injectors and the other stuff, so I'm going to get that off the 1.6 as well, and maybe some coolant lines. So off to the 1.6. The wiring harness is out, so this is going into the 1.8. Because of the sensor here, it's a bit different. The water temperature sensor I mentioned, that's the reason why you need to swap it. This is a 90mm, comes off quite easy. I got the wiring harness in, as you can see, injectors all, and I fitted all of the connectors to the right brackets, installed the water temperature sensor, and I found out on the 1.6 the gauge sensor is on this side and here it's on this side. So I'm going to cut this wire, extend it, and then I can fit the gearbox, and after that I'm done with the things I need to do before the engine goes in, and I can install the engine. So that's really great, because it already took me 3 hours, something like that, fabricating these things. But yeah, it's cheap, so why not? I took off the 1.6 gearbox, and this is it. As you can see, it's really nasty even from the inside. It has been leaking a lot. And now it's time to install it on the 1.8. The gearbox bolted up, and now I'm going to get all the bolts in and then install this. The gearbox is on, and last thing, the throttle cable, because it has a different length than the 1.6 cable, and it's really easy to install. Just click it in, and that's all to it. Well guys, the 1.8 is in. Hopefully there was enough footage for me to edit that thing and that you can see what the possibilities are and how you can install it yourself. I was in quite a rush, so I didn't film a lot. I'm sorry for that. But next video I will explain a lot more on why I did certain things and what you can do different. But for now, let's take a look at how the engine looks inside the engine bay.
Oh, this you crazy mother...